Yes, I'm sitting here motionless. I know that. Thank you. All right, guys, listen up. Thank you for joining me on this beautiful Monday. Today, we're going to be having a little marketing update, national news with me, Nick Gartside. Welcome to the show. So some things we need to talk about is a little update on AI. So since last month, this is March. Since February, the experimental phase of AI is going away because AI is no longer being used as just a generating content tool. It's now becoming the primary interface by which consumers are discovering brands. No kidding. I've talked about this so much now. SEO is changing. And the biggest way I can tell you is SEO is dead. Like, yes, I know it's not really dead. I get that. Like, you're going to have your one-time SEO on your website. And then from that point on, you really got to be locking in to the AI database. And every search engine has its own AI database. But let's stay on topic right now. We got 5 things that are going on right now in the AI marketplace. 1, AI mode. If you use Google, you will see there's an AI mode on both the mobile version and the desktop version. Are you ready for this? People are now using that more than they're using the search. It has officially surpassed 75 million daily active users this month, causing just a massive shift in organic search. What does that mean? That means that map pack, that top 10 does not matter anymore. The data is showing that the conversion rate, hear me on this, from searches that have triggered through the AI have a 58 to 61 reduction right now in organic clicks. Because why? The AI is answering the question. The AI is giving you one website to go off of. It is giving you one business to choose from. That map pack is used, but not so much in this. It is just giving you the answer. Marketers, people like me. It's so funny. Like I'm the only one talking about it right now, and I know this space is going to get flooded, right? Marketers are abandoning traditional SEO in favor of generative engine optimization. The goal is no longer to rank at number 1 with a list of links, but to be the cited source and recommended brand with an AI spoken or written answer. Now you hear all that, right? And you're like, great, what does that mean? That means that when you talk to this device, or you talk to Alexa, or you talk to Gemini, they're now answering the questions. For those of us that have been in the Google AdWords game, remember when they said, hey, it's no longer 2 or 3 keywords, now you got to start writing long form sentences for Google Ads. This is what's been coming along. This is nothing new. And if you're hearing this for the first time, welcome to the future. So let's just kind of end with this. 1, when you build your website, you need to build it with one-time SEO. 2, the only way you're doing monthly SEO, or, and this is going to be a new term, GEO, is you're putting it on your website, and then you're putting it on all the social media platforms, and then you're putting it where all the AI is reading all of what you've written. That way it knows to recommend you as the expert. So, the era of AI, we have seen the first wave of buying experience where AIs are assisting and are even making the decisions. The shift. Over 29% of Gen Z has now made purchases using an AI agent like ChatGPT versus just using the website. Brands are racing to build AI-ready websites. If your product data isn't structured for an AI agent to read through your API or the other assets, your brand is not going to exist as digital assistants are doing the shopping for millions of users. Let me translate this real quick. I say, this device, I'm not going to say its name because then it's going to respond to me, right? I'm looking for a high quality polo. And it's going to go da 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 da. Would you? And it's going to give me the recommendation. I'm not going to talk to the store. I'm going to talk to my AI assistant, and it's going to say, "Hey, here's my recommendation. Would you like me to purchase it for you?" This device has your card on file. Did you toggle off that this device cannot make purchases for you? Probably not. You might want to go check that. And that's what's going to make the purchase. So, something else that Google's rolled out is a new massive core update that incorporates Gemini 4.0. What does that mean? That means that the news, because if you haven't noticed, there's a lot of AI, they call it AI slop out there, right? It's generating very low, here we go, please hear me with this, low value content. So if you've been using ChatGPT and you've been using Claude and you've been using other AI just to write your content and you're going copy paste, this new Gemini 4.0 is going to say, hey, that's great that you put that on your website. That's good that you put it on medium.com, Reddit, wherever. We know it was written by Claude. We know it was written by ChatGPT. We know you didn't write it and it brings no value. We're going to get rid of it. We're not even going to recommend it. That's where we are at. Okay, great. Now that we know what not to do, now let's talk about what to do. Sites that provide organic research, proprietary data, and a human perspective will start to see an increase in traffic as long as it is templated. Wow, that John, that's a hard word. I'm going to try that, right? As long as you write the content in a way that makes the AI happy. Are you putting it in the template that's out there, right? I'm not telling you anything you can't find. If you're going to keep doing this, you're going to start putting your content, your blog content, right, in a template, in a format where AI is going to be able to read it in the way that AI wants to read it. And magically, honestly, it makes even the human experience even better. If you notice some really good blogs that rank or that are getting referenced, they always have a time limit to read. Is this a 3-minute time limit to read, a 5-minute? Is this a 20-minute read, right? Why? Because the AIs want to know those different bits of data. All right, regulation enforcement as the EU, AI Act of watermarking. So there's a deadline. Every major platform is now implementing technical watermarking and metadata for all AI-generated ads. Yes, very much needed. And expect that not to stop at the ads. That's also going to go into, hey, AI-generated Instagram profiles. Because it's getting good. I mean, I don't know if you've been on Instagram or YouTube, like there are whole channels now completely AI. The deep fake disclosure, any marketing content that uses deep fake technology to synthesize a voice or a face must now carry clear disclosure labels to avoid massive fines. This is forcing brands to move towards sovereign AI models. Sovereign AI models where they have total control of their training data and ethical compliance. What does that mean? That means that I'm not going to go scan someone else's face and use that because now that falls under this deepfake disclosure. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my creative team create an AI voice, face, maybe even, a figure, right? Clothes, color palette, all that stuff. That way the brand can say, hey, this is actually our AI branding. All right, the transition from marketing organizations to AI pods. The internal structure of marketing teams is now being rebuilt around AI efficiency. High-performing agencies are replacing traditional departments, creative, media, and analytics with AI-integrated pods. Let's keep going. Instead of the linear process of strategy, brief, creative, media buy, these pods use AI to model campaign scenarios and generate thousands of creative variations in real time. This new workflow allows teams to act on insights rather than waiting for weekly reporting cycles. This is hot gold. One of the number one things I do when we get a new client, I say, listen, we got to build out all of this web linking. Why? Because I need to help you as the client make database decisions. We're not going to go off of things that Nick thinks are the right thing. It is, what does the data say? Well, now what's going to happen is we're going to start integrating AI, and it's going to go out there and it's going to go, hey, based off of all these different creative variations, and we're going to change the text and the captions, and we're going to use this and we're going to use that. It's going to do all the split testing basically with inside the AI pod, and then say, use this ad. What does this mean for marketers? Is your job going away? No, it's not going away. The game's changing. Small business. Does it mean that you're not going to have a work anymore? No. It means it's changing. When we went from print media to digital, one of the number one companies out there, the BBB, got on the front end of that. And then as digital kept going, the websites got better and better and better. And now we're starting to use AI. And just so you know, we're not really using AI. We're using really complicated scripts. The AI is not thinking for itself. It's still doing what we tell it to do. But this is just an evolution of technology. Case in point, did you ever think you were going to talk to this device and it was going to give you an answer and make the purchase for you? No. But here's where we are. So, the biggest thing you can take away from this, from everything that I said, is if you were not talking to your marketing agency about the new way to do SEO and they're still doing a 500-word, 1,000-word blog and they're popping it on your website and they're saying, thank you for a couple $1,000, goodbye, you're falling behind. You're already behind. And here's why. Google is going to look at the Google business profile. It's going to look at the content that you're posting within the Google business profile. It's looking at the reviews that are being done within the Google business profile. It's looking at your response to the reviews in the Google business profile. And that Google AI Gemini is then making the recommendation based off of the data that's inside of its own ecosystem. Now, does it reach out to Apple and Yelp and Microsoft and ChatGPT and the other 40 directories that are out there to make sure that it's all validated? Yes. But that initial hit, that initial search happens within the ecosystem that it has. Meta is going to go look within Facebook and Instagram first. Microsoft is going to go look within Bing Maps and Microsoft Edge first. Alexa, Amazon, doesn't have that integrated yet. So who are they partnered with? Yelp. That's why all this matters. All right, we're going to switch gears real quick. We're going to actually move now to some national news because, we really just need to know what's going on around here. So, Trump delays Iranian strikes amid productive talks with a foreign major policy development. President Trump has now announced this morning that he is postponing the planned military strike on Iranian power plants for 5 days. Great. The U.S. has said, hey, you get 48 hours. You got 2 days. Stop. Well, Nick, why should they stop? Because it's not the government that's getting hurt by all this. It's all the people. It's the kids. It's the children. But when you have, here we go, when you have a government where the people cannot rise up against it, and then the government can just steamroll whatever agenda they want, this is what you have. This is the issue. Do you really think the average Iranian who's at a coffee shop right now or at a cafe really wants all this happening? Do you think they really like looking up in the sky and going, oh, there's a flying $2 billion black Dorito that just dropped like 3 bombs and now, hey, everything on this block is gone? No, they don't want that. He wants to enjoy his coffee, go back home to his kids or go back home to his family and live his life. People are like, oh, bad Trump. No. The government murdered, and this is proven. You can go check this yourself. Don't take my word for it. Go research it. Murdered over 30,000 people. And finally, the United States, who is the only country that has a large enough military to do anything, said, that's not right. And honestly, I think he was good for that. While Trump describes the recent conversation as a very good and productive, the Iranian Foreign Ministry has publicly denied any formal dialogue in taking place. Okay, sure, that makes sense. You don't want to look weak to your people. We've taken out 3 Ayatollahs. One lasted 2 minutes, 2 hours. The day he got said, hey, I'm the Ayatollah now, he was gone in 2 hours. People know. The people there know. Here we go. Ready? Here's your next Google search. You want to have some fun with this? Go Google Iran from the 1960s and the 1970s. Photos of Iran, 1960s and 1970s. And it is going to shock you how pretty that country used to be. And what the people wore. All right, on topic number 2, the U.S. major airports are experiencing record long security lines and flight cancellations due to the partial shutdown of DHS. That is very unfair because the people that are in play right now are saying, hey, we're gonna fund TSA, but we don't want to fund the rest of DHS. And that is why we are having this issue. The TSA agents have been working without pay for several weeks, leading to significant staffing shortages. And in response, the administration has begun deploying ICE agents into major hubs like JFK, LAX to assist with security and crowd management. Why is it only in this country? This is how you know you live in a free country. Please hear me with this. You know you live in a free country when you say, I don't like the way that guy is looking over this person's shoulder. I'm going to make a post about it. And you go complain. You go do that in any other country, even England, and watch how fast you get people knocking on your door. Watch how fast the police come over and start knocking on your door. I actually have a friend. He was at a gun range here in the United States, here in Texas. He shot a shotgun. He said, look, I shot a shotgun. When he got back to Great Britain and he got off his flight and he walked into the airport, he got detained. And the reason behind it was, we don't know if you shot that shotgun here in England or if you really shot it in Texas. Again, you have to keep your government in check. This is why the 2A is so important. This is how you know you live in a free country. When you can actively go on social media and go, I don't like my country. That's how you know. Here we go, right? I had a podcast guest over here just a little bit ago, earlier today. And we're watching this Twitter. And this person, Twitter, X. And this person responds, hey, like, I have questions. I want to share with you what's going on in Cuba. And we're like, well, wait a second. Like, we go research, his X account. And he's like, yeah, like, this is a brand new account because every time I get a new account, the Cuban government comes and looks for me. So he uses like VPNs and some other things and technical stuff I don't want to get into, but that's what happens. Look at Venezuela. Look at any country where someone has said, hey, we're your government. Trust us. Give us your firearms. We'll take care of you. Go do your own research. Stop listening to the talking heads on either side of the party. Stop. Stop listening to Republicans. Stop listening to Democrats. Go do your own research. Become educated in whatever you believe. All right, political gridlock. The shutdown remains centered as the budget standoff in Congress, regardless of funding for mass deportation initiatives and border infrastructure. If we had had secure borders in the first part, we wouldn't have this issue now. Oh, wow. Okay, we're about to... Everyone, if you're watching, you better want to sit down. And if you're in Texas, you might really want to sit down. I didn't even know this was a thing. A significant legal shift is occurring in Texas regarding the state's private school voucher program. The Texas Comptroller, Kelly Hancock, has officially accepted several Islamic private schools under the Go Texan voucher program. Muslim parents and Islamic schools say that they are being unconstitutionally excluded from the program. Yes. Yes, you're excluded. The very next question, before you drop any hate in the comments, okay? Or before you give me any love in the comments, right? Ask the question, why? I know why. I know why they were excluded. And just to save on time, I'm not going to go into it. But if you don't know, Islam is a way of government. It is a different type of government. And when you understand that, when you understand that Sharia law does not align with our Constitution, that tells you almost everything you need to know. It is not about anything else besides that. All right, some demographic shifts that are happening in the United States. According to the March 2026 data from Gallup and Pew Research, there's a slow but unmistakable transformation of the American religious landscape. I agree. While traditional Christian affiliation in Texas was wide and probably the most stabilized between 62 and 67%, there's a rapid decline since the 2010s. Yes. Why did that happen? Well, here we go. Let me finish the data, then we're going to go into the why. Growth between Islam, Hindu, and Buddhism has grown. Traditional religious environments such as the Catholic, Orthodox, and non-denominational in response to culture instability. Here's why this happened. You stopped having the conversation at the dinner table. That's why it happened. If you're a Christian and you're listening to me right now, the whole reason why your kids are not choosing to follow God is because you stopped, hear me this, you stopped having conversations at the dinner table. You stopped talking about politics. You stopped talking about religion. You stopped listening to your kids. You got so busy in the rest of the world, you forgot about the most important thing God gave you, your kids. Second most. First most would be their spouse, then kids, right? Why? Why was that ever pushed? Conversations at the dinner table is what created family legacy. Conversations at the dinner table is when you got to learn what your kids were learning from their friends and within the school. Conversations at the dinner table is when you looked your kids in the eyes. Dinners used to be 1 to 2 hours long. It used to be a time of real reflection. Where did it go? Bring back dinners. Stop doing after school programs. Stop doing sports. Stop doing all the things that pull you away from the dinner table. As a father, you only get 18 years to invest into your kids. That's it. You have less than 10 years to be extremely influential in their development. It's funny, I get flack all the time. What do you mean you're not going to answer my phone call, my work phone call at this hour? No. When I go home, and John will attest to this, on Sundays, can you get a hold of me? No. You're not getting a hold of me on Sundays. I go to church, I serve, I come home. This phone goes into a drawer. This watch goes into a drawer. It is my kids' time. On Saturdays, is it hard to get a hold of me? No. Because I'm locked in. I got the technology. Let's go, right? Now, after I leave this office, is it hard to get a hold of me? Yes. Yes, it is. Why? Because I turn work off and I turn family on. I literally have, so I talk to people on the way home, right? And I say, listen, I just got home. I pulled into the driveway. I'm switching into dad mode. Dad mode. I'm turning off work and I'm turning on the family. And I'm going to be present for my family. Where would we be? Would this even be a thing? If you really made sure that when work was turned off, you turned on your family, that you sat down at the dinner table, that you had the politic discussion, you had the religious discussion, you had the sex discussion, that you had all the hard conversations that the rest of the world said, don't have that conversation at the dinner table, where would your family be? And hear me on this, right? If you're a young parent, don't let the world tell you not to do it. And here's why. All these other religions out there are 100% having the conversation at the dinner table. Only you as Christians have been told not to do that. How do you know that, Nick? Because I have friends of multiple religions. And I've broken bread and I've eaten at their houses and I'm friends with them. And I hope the best for them. But they do it. They're intentional about it. You go over to Europe. How important it was to have a dinner at the dinner table. Right? Only here are Christians being told don't do that. All right, on to the next thing. Residents in Southeast Texas were startled over the weekend as a massive meteor streaked across the sky, producing a sonic boom heard from Houston to Austin. Yes. I don't think I've ever heard of a meteor creating a sonic boom. It's aliens. No, I'm just kidding. So, hey, if you live in that area and you heard that sonic boom, or if you got a video of it, please upload it. I would love to see it. As someone who very much appreciates the United States military and the men and the women that choose to serve, I mean, there's nothing like hearing a sonic boom from a jet. Like going to an air show and listen to that crack, that's awesome. So, hey, guys, thank you for joining me today. We're coming right up here on just a little over 30 minutes. We're going to start doing more of this. If you would like to come be a guest, and I mean a guest, like I got an extra mic and headset like right there. If you would like to come be a guest and come join me on this, and let's have conversations about this, even if you disagree with me. Hear me on this. Disagree with me, but still be honorable. Let's have conversations. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great